With the war against economic crimes and corruption waxing stronger in Nigeria, it is believed that all citizens, irrespective of class, status, and disposition, will lend their support to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in its unrelenting efforts to eradicate the scourge. Hello and welcome to The Eagle, a program produced by the EFCC in order to keep you abreast of activities of the Commission. My name is Aisha Gambari, your regular anchor.
Imagine a society where everything works. Durable road networks, stable electricity supply, portable water, well-equipped and functional healthcare facilities, quality education for all, affordable housing schemes, social security benefits, job creation, and a lot more that makes life comfortable to live. That is an ideal society. We can only achieve these if we all play our part. Say no to corruption to enjoy these benefits. Kill corruption to save Nigeria. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Despite its negative effect on the society, the allure of economic and financial crimes and corruption could be irresistible. The profile of persons standing trial for these crimes in Nigeria cuts across all social strata and professional standings. But could there be gender issue when it comes to stealing? Does the cliche, what a man can do, a woman can, holds true for the perpetrators of these menaces? Put bluntly, who is more corrupt between a man and a woman? In this edition, we'll bring you a special report that seeks to know if corruption is a gender-based motivated crime. Also in the edition, Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Abdul-Rashid Bawa, has described the prospects of sports as a global unifier and a platform for the convergence of cultures around the world, which endures international friendship and is built and sustained based on that value. He said this during a webinar on the Global Multi-Stakeholders Forum on Detecting and Reporting Crimes towards the G20 high-profile principle to tackle corruption in sports. And the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Embassy of Brazil in Nigeria have resolved to strengthen the collaboration between the two in tackling issues related to fraud, cybercrime, and a number of transnational organized crimes affecting the economies of Nigeria and Brazil. Please stay tuned. Details of those reports will come your way right after this short break. Don't go away.
Hello there. The fight against corruption involves you and I. I will play my part and you will play yours. Join me, Abdul-Rashid Bawa, Executive Chairman, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, on the Together Against Corruption Challenge, and lend your voice to the fight against economic and financial crimes always. Thank you.
Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Abdul-Rashid Bawa, has described sports as a global unifier and a platform for the convergence of cultures which enduring international friendships are built and sustained. He said this during a webinar on the Global Multi-Stakeholders Forum on Detecting and Reporting Crimes towards the G20 high-profile principle to tackle corruption in sports. Aisha Mohammed is our guide on this and other reports. Please stay with us.
Stop for a moment and imagine our world without sports. Envisage images of stadiums that are empty, dotting our cities. Imagine our yearly diaries without major sport championships. Such void is too alarming to imagine.
Bawa, who said sports is more than leisure, described it as a significant economic activity with related activities such as tourism, sponsorship, brand advertisement, and marketing, which contribute a sizable fraction to the global GDP.
Here in Nigeria, it is a veritable means of escape from many challenges facing our dear country, Nigeria. All of these make it imperative for the integrity of the sport to be protected from the onslaught of organized crime and corruption around the world. By now, it is fairly obvious that the incidence of doping, match fixing, and smuggling in the guise of transfers in football and other sports affects the integrity of the game. Some young Nigerians have had their dreams of furthering their footballing careers in lucrative European leagues vanquished by agents who traffic them to servitude in backwater leagues around the world.
He added that there is no better way to achieve this than removing the enablers of corruption from the system through preventive efforts by way of public enlightenment, deterrence through aggressive investigation and prosecution.
The first step is to reduce secrecy in sports administration and promote good corporate governance in the respective federations of sports around the world. Such will reduce discretion and opportunities for entrenched interest to emerge, with the obvious effect on transparency and accountability.
Still on international collaborations, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC and the Embassy of Brazil in Nigeria resolves to strengthen the collaboration between the two in tackling issues related to fraud, cybercrime, and a number of transnational organized crimes affecting the economies of Nigeria and Brazil. This indication emerged when the EFCC chairman, Abdurrashid Bawa, paid a courtesy visit to the Brazilian embassy in Abuja. The EFCC boss, who was received by the Brazilian ambassador Ricardo Guerra de Araujo, expressed regrets about the activities of fraudsters targeting foreigners and foreign businesses, which he said pose a threat to the image of Nigeria and the quest for direct foreign investment. Recalling the efforts of the EFCC in helping to smash a Nigerian fraud syndicate that defrauded a Brazilian bank in the early 2000s, Bawa assured that the commission will work together with the embassy in tackling the menace of fraudsters. Ambassador Araujo, who said he has been in Nigeria long enough to know that only a few Nigerians were involved in fraudulent activities, expressed regret that the activities of the unscrupulous tiny minority was distracting him from his primary mission of promoting trade relations between Nigeria and Brazil. He therefore appealed to the EFCC to assist in checking the activities of fraudsters targeting Brazilian businesses. The parties further agreed to strengthen the cooperation between them by designating desk officers to enable the exchange of information. The EFCC boss was accompanied on the visit by the Director of Legal and Prosecution, Chili Okoroma, Director of Operations, Abdul Karim Chukwu, among others. In another development, Chairman of the EFCC, Abdurrashid Bawa, has charged members of the boards of federal parastatals, commissions and agencies to make transparency and accountability their watchword. He gave the advice at Fraser's Suite in Abuja while presenting a paper on the role of the EFCC in the prevention of economic and financial crimes in the public sector at the induction of the new board members organized by the Bureau of Public Service Reform, BPSR. Bawa, who was represented by his Chief of Staff, Hadiza Gamawa, informed the inductees that the EFCC was established with a mandate to fight economic and financial crimes, including corruption in the public and private sector.
The issues are systemic as we face it in Nigeria today. It goes beyond saying there is a corruption going on in one agency or agency A or agency B, but it has become the norm in almost every government institution. And it flows through the system, so it's so systemic. And by acknowledging that and recognizing that it is systemic, we have to develop a means of trying to determine how do we address this systemic corruption. It goes beyond today investigating A, B, C, D, and prosecuting the individual, confiscating the property. What happens if there were vulnerabilities within the system are still left there for other individuals to continue to take advantage of them? So this is what we're saying. We have developed a strategic plan within the EFCC that is consistent with the national anti-corruption strategy, the Nigerian national anti-corruption strategy, which encapsulates mostly ethical reorientation, crime prevention, public engagement, enforcement, sanction, recovery, and management of stolen wealth.
Highlighting the enforcement functions of the EFCC, which include coordination and investigation of advance fee fraud, money laundering, currency counterfeiting, illegal charge transfer, future market fraud, fraudulent encashment of negotiable instrument, computer card fraud, among others, the EFCC chair also disclosed that the agency has put in place various mechanisms to tackle corruption and financial crimes from the grassroots level through enlightenment and reorientation programs for schools, youth organizations, including the National Youth Service Corps, and Interfaith Anti-Corruption Committee. Bawa added that the commission also traces and identifies fraud conduits and ensures the gaps are eliminated. Aisha Muhammad reporting for The Eagle.
Corruption is dishonesty and illegal behavior by people in positions of trust. A public office is a public trust. Do not abuse positions of trust for private gains. Stay away from corruption. Nigeria is a great nation, and it is our responsibility to make the country greater. If you notice any act of corruption, please report to the EFCC via info@efccnigeria.org or call 09 904 4751 or 09 904 4752. You can also call 09 904 4753. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Glad to know you're still there. The Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption, ROLAC, has reiterated its interest in supporting the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in the areas of anti-corruption reform and capacity development for increased efficiency in the fight against corruption. ROLAC's National Program Manager, Nladi Plank, stated this when he led a team on a courtesy visit to the headquarters of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Abuja. Amina Kahua tells us more.
Plank expressed satisfaction with the synergy between ROLAC and the EFCC, which crystallized in the execution of a number of projects for the Commission. He listed some of the projects to include support for the development of a strategic plan for the Commission and training programs for various categories of staff in diverse areas including corruption risk assessment. He noted that though the European Union funded project for justice sector reform and support to anti-corruption agencies is billed to end in 2022, ROLAC has the intention to further support the EFCC in the development of e-ICAP application to improve information accessibility and support for human resources management. Emmanuel Uche, ROLAC's anti-corruption manager, while speaking, also listed other areas of interest to include training of judges handling corruption cases and peer review meetings for states implementing the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, ACJA, amongst others. Uche added that organizing periodic meetings for heads of anti-corruption agencies for improved synergy and cooperation and getting the EFCC to take greater interest in the extractive industries audit report, as well as the Auditor General's report for possible enforcement action, will also go a long way in enhancing performance indicators such as data assessment, cooperation, and coordination. In his response, the EFCC chairman, Abdulrashid Bawa, disclosed that the Commission under his leadership had done considerable work in the areas mentioned and that the Commission was consciously positioning the Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering, SCUMO, for critical corruption prevention role, bearing in mind that most processes of corruption were laundered through the sector, which SCUMO superintends. On the justice sector reform, the EFCC boss said the challenge of the Commission was not with the designation of judges, but rather with the frequent transfer of judicial officers, which creates problems for the prosecution of corruption cases. Bawa concluded by inviting ROLAC to sponsor a corruption risk assessment training program at the EFCC Academy to enable more operatives of the Commission benefit, as well as facilitate a technical advisor for the curriculum development for the Academy. Amina Kawa reporting for The Eagle.
Unemployment is not a criteria to prove somebody from Liberia, creating bad image for Nigeria. Now Yahoo Yahoo be your career, mama.
Because say government no employ you, that one no be criteria. Make you can't do Yahoo Yahoo as your career. You can't do people for Australia, UK, Liberia, Bulgaria, USA, or anywhere for diaspora. You can't spend the money on top Victoria, Gloria, Funke, Halima, Nkechi, Maria, shopping for them for Victoria, creating bad image for Nigeria. If you don't stop, no issues, no barrier, you go soon see EFCC for your area.
Remember, EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
You're still watching the program, The Eagle, coming to you from the stables of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Please don't forget to follow the EFCC via its social media portals at Official EFCC on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. Coming up next, economic and financial crimes, including corruption, have been identified as problems caused by our own conducts, either in positions of authority or otherwise. The profile of persons standing trial for corruption in Nigeria cuts across all social strata, status, professional standings, and even gender. This brings us to ask the question, who amongst us encourages corruption? In the next report, we take a look at gender status of corruption. Can there be a gender issue when it comes to stealing? Does the cliché, what a man can do, a woman can, holds true for corruption? But let's put it bluntly, who is more corrupt between a man and a woman? Our reporter Ilyasu Haruna Bala is on the streets of Abuja to find out answers to these questions. Ilyasu, welcome on board. What do we have from the streets?
Thank you, Aisha. Yes, we are on the street of Abuja. In recent times, the word corruption has formed part of our everyday conversation. It affects every part of the society, and one begins to wonder if it is determined by gender or other factors. The Eagle team is here to speak with people on the street in order to know what they think about this.
If you want to classify based on gender, in Nigeria, you never can tell, because the fact is that most of the women have not been given the opportunity to handle political posts. So we can't really say the men are more corrupt than the women.
I can say that men are more corrupt than women.
I think the both are corrupt.
The number of men found guilty of corrupt practices outweigh the number of women in Nigerian context.
So for me, I would say the both parties are corrupt too.
Men are more corrupt.
Men is the one who corrupt.
Between male and female, the most corrupt is the male.
That's a difficult question, because I couldn't be able to base it on data. But in my personal opinion, from observation, women are more corrupt.
I don't think it's something we weigh. It's a personal thing. It's more of an individual, not comparing male and female. Because if you have to say male is this or female is this, is not. To me, I think it's something of, it's a personal thing.
Men, they are corrected than women in this country. Because when you see the level of corruption in this country, I will not say men are taking off 95% of the corruption. How many women have been in the office? How many women have been in the government broadcaster? They are men, they are the one, they are the leader of corruption.
Well, it depends on individual. You know, a man can be corrupt, a woman can be corrupt.
Actually, I would say in this our country, Nigeria, right now, between male and female, I can't see the difference. Anything corruption, male and female, we are all involved. So I would say the both of them are all involved. Both of us, I would say. Mostly it's the male that is more corrupt. In offices, mostly men are corrupt than women.
Generally, I think men are more corrupt than women. Okay. Though it's all based on individual experiences, but the men, if you look at the ratio, men are more corrupt than women, because while women, sometimes they have a heart, a compassionate heart, and even if they want to be, they might not be as hardened as the men folks are, but generally the men are more than.
All said, But one thing is clear. The menace of corruption affects each and every one of us. It is a monster that is not determined by race, religion, or gender. It is a cankerworm that we must all work assiduously to tackle. All hands must be on deck, as the anti-graft agencies cannot win the war alone. I am Ilyasu Haruna Bala, reporting for the Eagle. Aisha, it's back to you.
Thank you, Ilyasu. Interesting revelations, I must say. But the issue of corruption cannot be determined by a particular factor, as the effects of corruption affects everyone. It is important to remind ourselves that we need to come together, irrespective of class or status, and let's stop the blame game and form a formidable force to wage a war against this menace. We should kill corruption before corruption kills Nigeria. And just like one of the respondents rightly mentioned, all hands must be on deck to checkmate the scourge for a better Nigeria. So join the EFCC today, as together we can win the war against economic and financial crimes and corruption in Nigeria.
Corruption is a cankerworm, na cankerworm. I said na cankerworm, na cankerworm. Corruption don't finish our country. Nigeria women rise up and come together, oh yeah.
Every woman come out, but we fight corruption together, oh. Every woman fall out, but we kill corruption together, oh.
Them they thief our money, send them obodo yibo. Children they suffer every day, better school in no day. Nigeria women come, oh. Women from every sector, make we fight corruption, we won't kill our country. Them go collect money for light, chop the money, light we no see. Good road and good health and call, we no see. I said na cankerworm, oh, na cankerworm, oh.
Join the EFCC in its crusade to rid Nigeria of corruption. Naija, now we all know.
And that will be all on this week's edition of the program, The Eagle. Please keep a date with us next time and on same station next week as we bring you interesting updates from the EFCC. To follow up on other activities of the Commission, please visit our website at www.efccnigeria.org. Also follow us on our social media platforms at Official EFCC on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and of course on Instagram. And for other inquiries, send an email to info@efccnigeria.org or call EFCC odd numbers showing on the screen. Please also don't forget to wear a face mask and ensure that you wash your hands with soap and water regularly, or you use hand sanitizers, as together we can contain the spread of COVID-19. Please stay safe. My name remains Aisha Gambari. Let's do this again next time. Thank you for watching. God bless Nigeria. Bye-bye.